Michael Bowden's Matrix Opener and Fully Loaded are two coin productions that are a home run if you are looking to cover all of the bases for deceptive visual magic. Let's take a look.
Whenever it comes to playing cards for money, there are three different techniques that can be used. Two of them are called cheating. Yes, you can actually mark the back of the playing cards by using a blue pen to fill in just the dot here or there on the back of the cards so that you know where the high cards are within the deck. However, this particular deck is legitimate. Only the faces of the cards are marked as they came from the manufacturer. Another method of cheating is called stacking the deck. That's where the dealer shuffles the deck in a certain way so the aces, the kings, or the high cards fall to certain positions within the deck. But I don't use that either. As you can see, the cards really are mixed. This is how I like to make my money whenever I play cards. I simply give the cards a little bit of a cut, and you could say I do it in a fancy manner. 4 coins produced out of nowhere. The perfect opener for your matrix routine. Any matrix routine will do from here. You magically produce the coins and then go right into your routine. To make up matrix opener, you need 4 coins. They can be quarters or $half. You need 10 cards set aside. You need to make up a block of cards that are all glued together by using a glue stick, and the block has 4 holes cut out which will house the 4 quarters or the 4 $half. Then you assemble everything. The 10 cards go on top of the block. The block goes on top of my Queen of Hearts, which is my locator card later on within the routine. The cards are brought out of the card case. You can spread them, showing them front and back, keeping pressure upon your left hand, which houses the block or holds the block. You then go into your pattern line of possibly marking the cards, how they're marked with blue ink on the back. You turn the deck face up, making sure that you keep constant pressure upon the block of cards so the quarters do not slide out. Then you go into your shuffle mode. Now I know that my block is 1/3 down from the top of the deck, so I shuffle and I locate my Queen of Hearts. That's my locator card, so I know that my coins are not going to show. I place my thumb right where the block is, and when I separate the cards, I see the Queen of Hearts. I know I'm safe, so I can shuffle off to the top. The cards can then be spread once again, showing the fronts and the backs if you wish. Now the cutting sequence for the production. You swing cut half of the deck into your left hand, keeping pressure upon those cards. My little finger is going to be holding a break in just a moment. The rest of the deck gets swing cut into your left hand, and the center portion is pivoted out the back and placed on top with my break still being held. I pick up the break, table the deck, and cut the bottom half to the center, and then the cards to the left and the right. I fan the cards and come over, and I steal away the top block, leaving the 4 coins for the production. Let me review just one more time how the cards are fanned when I pick them up. My thumb makes contact at the back, my center 2 fingers of each hand make contact at the front, and my other fingers around the side. I fan the cards, then I pick up the block. Let me show you what that looks like by using these plastic templates, so you can see what happens underneath. As my hands come together, my center 2 fingers of each hand will actually just simply lift up the block, and the block gets transferred into the underneath of the right hand fan, and I set everything aside. Let's take a look at it once again with the real cards in this case. The cards are cut, the cards are picked up, they're fanned, and you instantly pick up the block, setting everything aside and tipping the coins off, spreading the cards, and setting everything as a mess at the lower part of your close-up pad. Now the block runs sideways underneath, and it's a simple matter of squaring up the cards with your fingertips to line everything back up for your final ribbon spread. The cards are picked back up, the 4 coins have been produced, and you go into your matrix routine. Once again, the cards are cut, cut again, swiveled out, tabled, cut into thirds. The cards are fanned and the 4 coins are produced, just like magic. The cards are then squared up with your fingertips so all the cards are in alignment, making this an extremely visual coin production for the perfect lead-in for your matrix routine. You start off by showing a deck of playing cards that the cards have been already shuffled, as you can see, but if you wish you can go ahead and give the cards a little bit more of a shuffle if you like, and then to show them one last time that the cards are quite in random order. Now after the cards have been shown, what you're going to do is give the cards a cut them in half, cut the other half in half again, show your hands empty, and with a double fan you simply, in a fancy way, produce 3 half dollars out of nowhere. After the 3 half dollars have been produced, you make the comment that you actually need 4 half dollars. Let's see if I can make one more for you. Now watch closely. I'm going to show you both hands are empty, nothing in my hands. A little wave, and just like magic, the 4th half dollar appears out of nowhere. That's right, out of nowhere. You start off with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards that have been hole punched out. The last card is actually 2 cards, so that's 8 cards that have been hole punched out. And you keep one of the circles that you cut out, you simply scotch tape it as a flap hanging onto that card. The punched out cards are the thickness of 1 half dollar. So when the half dollar is underneath, everything looks nice and square, but if you gesture upward, the coin pops out from its little trap door. Next you take 4 aces, an indifferent card, place those on top. Then you take a set of 8 cards that you've punched out with a hole punch, which will house 3 half dollars setting within their indentations. Then everything is placed within the card box. A fairly direct setup. Cards are taken out. You can spread the bottom half of the deck, making sure that none of the coins are exposed. When you go to cut the cards to shuffle, don't cut too deep or the coins will be exposed. So you shuffle off about half of the deck. You can then spread again to show. Now be careful not to spread too far or the coins will show. Spread again, show the cards have been mixed up. Turn the cards over, cut half of the pack off, cut the other half in half, show your hands empty, and do a one-handed fan with both hands. Now to produce these coins, you're simply going to lift up that packet, that glued packet. By the way, those cards were glued with a glue stick. You simply lift that up with your fingers from underneath. So you pick up the packets, you fan them, with your fingers underneath you lift up that packet and it gets squared up with the rest of the deck as you take them away. As you can see, there it is. You dump the coins off, place that other part of the pack on top, and you're ready to go for the next production. Now on top of the deck you have the first 5 cards are the aces and the indifferent card, so you have to get rid of those. Remember, the flap is underneath and your coin is hidden. So what you want to do is spread the first 5 cards and double undercut them to the bottom. That brings the coin with the flap hidden under the flap on top. Then show both of your hands empty. Notice the coin is there. Show both of your hands empty, very cleanly, very slowly. And as you gesture upward, the flap opens and the coin pops up. A beautiful production. Basically all you do is I took 6, 7, 8 cards and punched holes in them. I used a 1.5-inch hole punch, although these punches come in different sizes. This was 1.5 inches for the half dollar, and smaller one I used here for a quarter. I'm not quite sure what size this is, but it's at least the size of a quarter. Hole punches come in different sizes, obviously. So you punch out about 5 or 6 cards. Actually, the depth of the cards have to match the depth of the $half. So when you place the $half on top, you can feel that it's perfectly level, okay? Just like that. Next you make a flap card. It's simply another card that you've punched out with your hole punch, as you can see the holes through there. And it's a flap card because I placed a little bit of Scotch tape on the back side. I'll try to get this close to the camera so you can see that. Just a tiny bit of Scotch tape, not much, because you want this flap to open freely. You don't want it to get stuck. It's such a close tolerance that if you press hard on it, that the flap will actually get stuck, and you have to bow the deck to loosen it so the coin can pop up and out of the secret hiding place. The production now is very simple. The coin simply flips up through the flap and falls back down on top of the flap as you shake with your hand, gesturing downward. So the coin looks as though it makes a magical appearance on top of the deck of cards. I made one up earlier with a quarter size hole using a smaller hole punch. Whatever seems to be more comfortable for you to use. There's the hole, there's the flap, everything's in place. You simply gesture a little bit, come downward with your hand, a little jerky motion, and the quarter appears, or the $half appears.